We're live.
Welcome everyone to the Village of Gulf Manor Executive Committee meeting. Today is November 8th, 2021. May we have a roll call?
Yes, Ms. Channing?
Here.
Mr. Pridnoff?
Here.
Mr. Simile?
Here.
Ms. Snyder?
Here.
Wilkinson?
Here.
Thank you. Has everyone had a chance to review tonight's agenda? If so, do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Motion.
Sorry, one
Yeah.
minor change to it,
Oh, sure.
just very minor, but the announcement at the very end says that the next meeting is set for January 10th, 2021.
Oh, thank you for pointing that
I'm
out.
down there, especially during this time here. Virginians.
I'll second the motion.
All right. Thank you. All right. And we do not have anyone registered to address the committee tonight. So we can move on to approving October 11th minutes. The only thing I noticed in the minutes is that the first part with the motion that add discussion about future of Recreation Commission was actually from 2 meetings ago. So just taking that out.
No, actually, I did make a motion at the last one because there was no note to discuss the follow-up of it. And
Okay,
I
so
think
this
that's
is
what
just for
was-
like pending business to like add this later?
There was nothing on the previous agenda regarding the follow-up of the decision.
Oh, so this was
So I
adding
made
to
it, yes.
that
Yeah.
agenda.
That
Got
was
it. Okay, then I believe they're perfect. Do I have a motion? Do
I'll make a motion.
I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, and we have no new business. This is our last meeting of the year, so it's really just a recap of where we're leaving off and where we're starting in January. So Mr. Hurd, old business?
Sure. The things that we've discussed pretty regularly throughout this year, top of the list is the playground equipment. At this point in time, I talked to the vendor at the end of last week. They still don't have a manufacturer date. They're not sure when the materials are going to come in, so they were hoping that it would actually be built sometime the end of this year. We were looking for an early 2022 installation date. We don't know about that. I am reporting to the county this week where the project stands. We did receive the council check. I have already submitted payment for the COVID reimbursement. I'm not sure if that's going to be held up because they can't give us an installation date yet, but I'll keep council tuned on that as we move through the next couple of weeks, as we know.
Thanks.
So it's still going to happen. Just don't know when.
Glad the check was cashed.
Yeah, me too. And the vacant building ordinance enforcement.
Yeah, I just wanted to let everybody know that Jim Putoff, our code enforcement official, has done a great job in terms of going after some of the larger things that we've been dealing with, including the Stover cul-de-sac. Hopefully the solicitor will give us, within the next day or two, some type of progress that we've had with the Bean property on North Weehee. There is a community redevelopment grant that is, the application for that is due on Wednesday, that we're hoping to submit for funding to purchase that property and to raise it. But hopefully we'll have some kind of numbers sometime here in the next couple of days to do that. That's really it there. I know for next year, things that will affect this particular bucket of responsibilities for the code official is going to be getting a handle on fine-tuning some of our ordinances for pods, dumpsters, portable restrooms, those kinds of things. The elusive landlord-tenant legislation, hopefully we'll be in a position to deal with that next year. And there are a number of building codes and property maintenance things that recommendations to tighten up some of those policies for us and just to modernize some of the things. One thing that I know I sent this to the mayor, and I can't remember if I sent it to council. Last week, we were notified that we are receiving a grant from Hamilton County to do a housing inventory of the village. That would be conducted by the county, paid by the county, given to us, and that is going to be a huge piece in helping us get a handle on economic development. And that was a grant that just kind of popped up, and they were like, "Hey, we'll make this available to you, and we're glad to do it. And do you want it?" And we were like, "Yes."
What will it tell us?
My understanding is, and they are going to reach out to us about more specifics, that it should be a inventory of our housing, in addition to giving us some insights into where we may have development opportunities throughout the village. And I think that meshed with what we're doing with the strategic plan and what the information we have from the TAP study is going to be huge in helping us move the economic development effort forward. So thank you to the county for awarding that grant to us. There was no specific amount tied to that, was there?
I think it was estimated upwards of $50,000. They engaged a private consulting firm to handle that on their behalf. They reached out to me. One component of it, and we mentioned in the application, relates to housing zoning code, local housing zoning codes. And they reached out to me about scheduling an opportunity for us to meet with them to kind of present our housing zoning, to take a in-depth analysis of it. Is it accomplishing what we want, both in terms of the market as well as certain equity indicators? So I think that's the first step in the process.
And is that going to happen this year?
Yes.
Okay. So looks like a busy November, December coming up with that. But that's all good news. The other piece of that is trying to get a business inventory, and that's the next thing that we're working on with Urban Fast Forward, is to try and help us develop a plan for those kinds of issues.
So kind of exciting.
That is exciting
And a
stuff.
lot of pots, or a lot of irons in the fire here.
And then as far as pending business, we had already touched on some of it with the pods, dumpsters, and the landlord tenant. And again, with the property building code enforcement, I believe that there is nothing else on our agenda.
No, the only thing that I would say about the parking issue is we still have, with the Vera Road project, we're going to be striping the lanes for parking. That'll be something we haven't done before, so we'll see how successful that is in terms of trying to alleviate some of the parking issues we've had there. I think once we see how that works, then we should be in a position to have more of a discussion about parking next year.
Will that be like an enforceable, like you must park between the lines, or is it just a guideline? Guidance, gotcha.
It's implied. Per here.
If it's successful, then would that be implemented on the other roads that are
I-
being restricted?
Yeah, I think that's the plan. So like when probably, Elbrook wouldn't be done until it got its new roads, but yeah.
And I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
He was
question.
asking if it was successful, if that would be used on other roads that have parking issues.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it, because in fact, one of the things that I'll mention in the main meeting is you're seeing engineers around doing the 3 roads that we're doing next year. So that's already starting. So it's kind of exciting to get that done.
That's great. So we are going into an executive session.
Yes, and Terry, do you want to give some guidance on that?
It's a review with executive committee, confidential mediation discussions, as well as compensation of public officials and employees. Now, we do not have Mr. Van Harn or Mr. Knapp here. Were they planning to attend?
Yeah, Roger was supposed to have been here early, and Danny was going to try to get here by 6:15.
Well, we can move to go into executive session, noting in the minutes for those purposes. We would take a roll call vote of members of just the committee and then invite mayor, Mr. Van Ryn to join. And whoever else is not on executive.
And we were going to, okay, I got you.
That sounds good. Do I have a motion to move into executive
Make a
section?
motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We have to do roll call.
Roll call.
Ms. Channing,
Yes.
Mr. Brittenhoff,
Yes.
Mr. Simile,
Yes.
Mr. Snyder, and
Yes.
Mr. Wilkinson.
Thank you.
We just wait a couple minutes until they arrive.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and close out the video on this. So did you want to go ahead and make announcements?
Sure. The only announcement I have is that our next meeting is scheduled for January 10th, 2022 at 6 p.m. And thank you guys for a great year.